Imagine you're about to board a long flight. The excitement for your trip is building. You can already taste the new food, see the new sights, feel the warmth of family you're about to visit. But did you know that for those of us over 60, we're at double the risk of heart complications during air travel? It's a sobering thought, but it doesn't have to be a scary one. In fact, just five simple habits, five small changes to your travel routine could make your entire journey safer and so much more enjoyable. So please stick around because we're about to go through a senior-friendly checklist that could literally save your life the next time you fly. Traveling in our golden years is one of life's greatest joys. It's a time for adventure, for connection, for making memories. But a long-haul flight presents a unique set of challenges for our bodies and especially for our hearts. Think of it as a triple threat. First, you have prolonged immobility sitting in a cramped seat for hours on end. Second, the cabin air is incredibly dry, which can easily lead to dehydration. And third, and this is the one most people don't think about, the air pressure and oxygen levels at 35,000 feet are different from what we're used to on the ground. For a healthy young person, the body barely notices. But for a heart that's already working a little harder, that combination can be a significant stressor. The goal today isn't to scare you away from traveling. Absolutely not. The goal is to empower you. It's to turn you into the most prepared, confident, and heart-safe traveler on that plane. We're going to walk through five essential habits that create your personal flight plan for health and safety. Let's get started. Our very first and most important habit for heart-safe travel begins long before you even pack your bags. It starts in your doctor's office with a pre-flight medical assessment. Think of this not just as a routine checkup, but as a specific fitness-to-fly consultation. This is your chance to partner with your doctor to make sure your body's ready for the journey ahead. If you have any pre-existing heart condition, whether it's high blood pressure, atrial fibrillation, or a past heart attack, this step is non-negotiable. Go to your doctor with your travel plans in hand and ask some very specific questions. You can say, "Doctor, I'm planning a 10-hour flight to visit my family. Given my current heart health, are there any specific precautions I should take?" Or more directly, "Is there any reason why it would be unsafe for me to fly right now?" This is also the time to get your medication strategy sorted out. You need to make sure you have enough of every single prescription to last your entire trip, plus at least a week's extra supply. Delays happen, bags get lost, trips get extended. You never want to be in a foreign country trying to get an emergency refill. And here's a critical tip. Always, always, always pack your medication in your carry-on bag. Never put it in your checked luggage. Your medication should be with you at all times. Keep it in the original prescription bottles. This helps with identification if you're questioned by airport security and is vital if you need medical attention abroad. A pro tip I always share is to also take a clear photo of your prescriptions on your phone and ask your doctor for a brief letter that lists your medical conditions and the medications you take for them. This can be an absolute lifesaver. And finally, this pre-flight assessment is about knowing when to be patient. Sometimes the safest travel decision is to postpone your trip. If you've had a very recent heart attack or stroke, if you're dealing with unstable angina or chest pain, or if you have a condition like severe uncontrolled heart failure, the stress of a long flight could be dangerous. I know how disappointing it can be to delay a long-awaited trip, but please try to reframe it in your mind. You aren't canceling your adventure. You are simply protecting your health so you can enjoy many more adventures in the future. Okay, you've got the green light from your doctor. Your medications are packed. Now let's talk about what happens when you're on the plane. Our second essential habit is all about circulation protection. When you are sitting in a confined space for many hours, the blood flow in your legs slows down significantly. Gravity causes blood to pool in your lower extremities, like a slow-moving river. This sluggish flow can increase the risk of a blood clot forming in the deep veins of your legs, a dangerous condition called deep vein thrombosis, or DVT. The real danger is if a piece of that clot breaks off and travels to your lungs, which is a life-threatening emergency known as a pulmonary embolism. But we have a powerful secret weapon against this: compression stockings. I know they might not be the most fashionable accessory, but they are one of the most effective things you can do to protect yourself. These aren't just tight socks. They provide graduated pressure, meaning they are tightest at the ankle and get looser as they go up your leg. This gentle, constant squeezing action helps your veins push the blood back, up towards your heart, preventing it from pooling and clotting. You can get them at most pharmacies, and it's a great idea to get properly measured to ensure you have the right fit and pressure level. Put them on in the morning before you head to the airport and wear them for the entire duration of the flight. But the stockings are only part one of our strategy. Part two is movement. You have to become an active passenger. Let's practice some simple in-seat exercises right now. You can do these discreetly without bothering anyone. First, let's do some toe lifts and heel presses. Keeping your heels on the floor, lift your toes up towards your shins, hold for a few seconds and release. Now, keeping your toes on the floor, lift your heels up high as if you're pressing a gas pedal. Do this 10 or 15 times. Can you feel that little squeeze in your calf muscles? That is your second heart. Your calf muscle acts like a pump, squeezing the veins to propel blood upward. Next, ankle circles. Lift your feet slightly off the floor and pretend you're drawing a circle with your big toe. Do 10 circles in one direction and then 10 in the other. These simple movements keep the blood from getting stagnant. And the most important movement of all, getting up. This is why I always recommend seniors book an aisle seat if possible. It gives you the freedom to stand up without having to climb over your neighbors. Set an alarm on your watch or phone for every hour. When it goes off, that's your signal. Stand up, do a gentle stretch in the aisle, or take a short walk to the lavatory and back. That simple act of changing your position and walking a few steps is a massive boost for your circulation. Remember, on a long flight, movement is your medicine. Let's move on to our third habit, and it's something that is so simple, yet so often overlooked. It's all about hydration and oxygen awareness. The air inside an airplane cabin is incredibly dry. It's actually said to be drier than the air in the Sahara Desert. This dry air pulls moisture from your body with every breath you take, which can lead to dehydration much faster than you'd expect. Why does this matter for your heart? When you're dehydrated, your blood volume decreases and your blood actually becomes thicker and more concentrated. This makes it harder for your heart to pump, and it can increase your risk of developing a blood clot. The solution is simple, but it requires discipline. You must drink water, not coffee, not soda, and especially not alcohol. Caffeine and alcohol are diuretics, meaning they actually make you lose more fluid. The free glass of wine might seem like a nice way to relax, but at 35,000 feet, water is truly your heart's best friend. Make it your mission to drink one full glass or bottle of water for every single hour you are in the air. Yes, it might mean more trips to the lavatory, but remember our last point. That's a good thing. It forces you to get up and move. Now let's talk about the air itself. At high altitudes, the air pressure is lower. This means that in any given breath, you're getting slightly fewer oxygen molecules than you would on the ground. For most people, this isn't a problem. But if you have an underlying heart condition like coronary artery disease or heart failure, or a lung condition like COPD, your heart may have to work significantly harder to get the oxygen it needs to supply the rest of your body. This is another reason why that pre-flight doctor's visit is so important. If you have a condition that affects your breathing or circulation, your doctor might recommend a pre-flight oximetry test to check your oxygen levels, or in some cases may even prescribe supplemental oxygen for you to use on the flight. The key is to be aware of your body. If you start to feel unusually dizzy, lightheaded, confused, or very short of breath, while in the air, you need to speak up immediately. Do not be shy or feel like you're being a bother. Press the call button and tell a flight attendant exactly how you are feeling. They are trained to handle in-flight medical situations and can provide assistance, including supplemental oxygen if needed. Being aware and speaking up is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of intelligence. Our fourth essential habit is about managing the invisible forces that can put a strain on your heart: stress and fatigue. Let's be honest, while the destination is wonderful, the process of getting there can be anything but relaxing. Navigating a busy airport, worrying about security lines, lifting heavy luggage, and the fear of missing your flight, all of it can send your stress levels skyrocketing. When you get stressed or anxious, your body releases hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. These hormones are what trigger your fight or flight response, causing your heart to beat faster and your blood pressure to rise. Your heart doesn't know the difference between the stress of a tight connection and the stress of a real physical threat. It just works harder. The best antidote to travel stress is meticulous planning. Give yourself the gift of time. For an international flight, plan to arrive at the airport at least 3 hours early. For domestic, 2 hours. This buffer gives you breathing room for unexpected traffic or long lines. Don't be afraid to ask for help. All airports offer assistance services. You can pre-book a wheelchair or an electric cart to get you to your gate. Let the airline staff handle your heavy check bags. Your job is to conserve your energy and stay calm. Once you're on the plane, create your own bubble of tranquility. Have a pair of noise-canceling headphones. Download some calming music, a fascinating audiobook, or a guided meditation onto your phone or tablet before you leave home. Practice those simple deep breathing exercises we've talked about before: a slow inhale through the nose and a long, gentle exhale through the mouth. This can instantly lower your heart rate and blood pressure. And this stress management plan extends to your arrival. One of the biggest mistakes travelers make is overbooking their first day. The temptation is to hit the ground running, but your body and your heart need time to recover from the ordeal of travel. Plan for your arrival day to be a day of rest. Have a light meal, hydrate, and maybe take a short, gentle walk to stretch your legs. The real vacation can start tomorrow once your body has had a chance to acclimate and recover. And this brings us to our fifth and final habit, which begins the moment you step off that plane. This is all about post-flight recovery and knowing the warning signs. Congratulations, you've reached your destination. But your health vigilance doesn't end here. The risks associated with long flights, particularly the risk of DVT, can persist for several days and sometimes even up to a week after you've landed. It's crucial to continue monitoring your body. In the first few days after you arrive, do a daily body check-in. How are you feeling overall? Are you more breathless than you would expect? And pay very close attention to your legs. It's normal to have some minor puffiness in your ankles after a long flight, but you are looking for specific warning signs. Know these signs and promise yourself you will seek immediate medical help if you experience them. If you notice swelling pain, warmth, or redness in just one of your legs, especially in the calf, that could be a sign of a DVT. Do not rub it or massage it. Get to a doctor. Even more urgently, if you experience a sudden onset of chest pain, severe shortness of breath, a rapid heart rate, or you start coughing up blood, that could be a sign that a clot has traveled to your lungs. This is a life-threatening emergency, and you need to get to an emergency room immediately. The key to all of this is being prepared. Before you even leave home, do 5 minutes of research. Find out the emergency medical number for the country you're visiting. It's not always 911. Look up the location and contact information for a reputable hospital or English-speaking clinic near your hotel or wherever you're staying. Write it down and keep it with your passport. This tiny bit of preparation can save you precious time and panic in a real emergency. So let's quickly recap our 5 habits for heart-safe travel. It starts with the pre-flight medical assessment with your doctor. Then on the plane, it's about circulation protection with compression stockings and movement. Throughout the journey, it's about disciplined hydration and oxygen awareness. It's about managing stress and fatigue with smart planning and relaxation. And finally, it's about diligent post-flight recovery and knowing the warning signs. Together, these 5 habits form a complete system, your personal armor, that allows you to travel with confidence and peace of mind. These habits transform you from being just a passive passenger into being a proactive, prepared, and empowered traveler, fully in control of your own health and well-being. Now, I'd love to hear from your experiences. Which one of these habits are you going to add to your pre-flight routine? Do you have any of your own travel tips or stories that have helped you on your journeys? Please share them in the comments below. Your wisdom could be just what another member of our community needs to hear. And if you found this checklist helpful, I'd be so grateful if you'd give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more essential senior health insights. One last question for you. What's your next destination? I'd love to hear about your travel plans. Let's chat in the comments. Fly safe, travel well, and take wonderful care of your precious heart.